Hey y'all. Hey, we are a couple of minutes late, but it is your girl Talitha Kume coming to you live and my baby Big Bobby B with the Wednesday night special, the review. Y'all, I have so much going on in my head. I was like trying to figure out what the heck I was saying. Anyway, so yes, Wednesday night special, the review. And this is, y'all, we are trying to keep up good spirits because it is hot as hell in here. Our air conditioning went out, or our something went out yesterday or day before, and it is just like, yeah, it feels like hell in here, really, honestly.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's really bad, but we wanted to come to you because this is actually going to be one of our last reviews for a little bit. We are taking the month of July off to kind of refresh, reset, and I'm going to be showing rewind shows every Wednesday for you guys so that you guys won't miss us. And then we're going to come back hopefully in August. And so today we're going to get on and hopefully get off, y'all, because it's, you don't even understand. But we were gonna do a twofer, and so I kind of want to talk about the first movie. And y'all, we watched this movie. We we thought that we saved the name of it and everything, and we cannot find it anywhere. The name of the movie, or what we think the name of the movie is, but it's on Roku, and even who is starring in the doggone movie. Um,
Hmm.
okay, what's it called? The name of the movie is called what? It just has her information. It doesn't have the name of the movie.
I'm giving it to you to scroll and read this because I'm not gonna do it.
I just need the name of the movie though. And was it right after that or whatever? So
Yeah, I'm
anyway,
trying
we're
to
looking.
find it because
We're
I just know her name.
okay. So good. So we're looking up maybe IMD of the movies that she's been in. So we were looking up the name of the actress in the movie to see if we can figure out the name of the movie or remember the name of the movie. But anyway, so the actress actually, her and her family, what we were reading, because at the very end of the movie it said in memory of her and her family, they died in a car accident, which was crazy. So the movie is called, why do we think it was called Absolution? I think it had something about that on there, so it's really weird. Anyway, so the movie is called Harmony. Y'all, we are totally wrong.
Look, no, check it out though.
That's why we couldn't figure it out. So it's called Absolution and Harmony.
Who
We don't know.
knows?
We don't even know. Anyway, so the movie, we found it on the Roku channel. So if you guys have a Roku TV, they have a lot of good movies on the Roku channel that you may not have heard of. And so this movie was called Harmony or Absolution or something like that. And then the main character in the movie, her name was Harmony. And so we watched the movie. It was a pick of mine. So Bobby committed me. I did pretty good on both of the movie picks that I picked this past week. But very interesting movie. Very interesting movie. So the movie was about this girl who was born with the ability to be able to take fear away from people. So whenever she touched people, she would take away their fears or their pains or their anxiety or whatever. And we wanted to watch. I wanted to watch it because it just seemed like an interesting story plot, right? And I had never the actress. I had not seen her in anything. I probably, if I look back, I probably seen her in something, but I don't remember. But
She's not
she
an American actress.
okay, so maybe not then. But so the movie was about that, and her name was Harmony. They named her Harmony for whatever reason, and the premise of the movie was kind of like they were saying as they were explaining about fear. They were talking about fear and love kind of go hand in hand, and so they were just kind of letting us know that she needed to find love to be able to have a balance, because whenever she would take fear, she would just it would just kind of deplete her energy or almost kind of kill her, because she was taking on so many people's fears.
Head
And
ass.
so, how, how does she triple? What the heck, Pepper? Go on somewhere. Anyway, and so
Crazy ass.
so Bobby, I want Bobby to talk about the movie and what what he took away from the movie. Like what were the highlights to you that made you kind of stay up for the movie? Because you don't stay up, that means you don't like it. So any highlights you can remember from the movie that kind of stuck
Yeah,
out
the
to you?
dude that they brought into the film seemed real AI before they were using like AI actors.
Okay. Which guy?
Love.
Okay. Yeah, he did. When he first came on the scene, he did look really, really AI.
I don't know what I took away from it other than I don't know.
Well, we were talking about the fact
'Cause
that
I just
she was a severe
hmm
empath almost. You know what I'm saying? And we were talking about that in reference even to you, being an empath and being able to kind of really sense people's emotions and feelings and different things like that in your gift of discernment.
hmm
And so we were talking about it in that sense. And I don't remember exactly what we said about it. I know we said that you said you like, I believe that. I believe that um that is a possibility for human beings to actually
yeah, I
have
totally
that.
believe that people are created with certain sets of filters to
Hmm.
filter out things for people.
Or gifts. Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm. And so you think that the movie was real. It
Yeah,
wasn't a
I mean, I think
fictional type of.
it was a real story.
Yeah.
I think.
And she used water to be able to release. And I know that it said when I was studying empaths that water is what they need to release whatever it is that attaches themselves to them or kind of whatever. So
Mm.
yeah, I think that it could have been very, very realistic. And so it was a good watch for you guys, for any of you guys that are into the study of that, being an empath or being fearful or anything like that. It was just a really interesting watch, like if you like psychology and stuff like that, like I do. And so the movie Harmony or Absolution, whichever
It's
one
named
you
both.
find. Okay,
It's
whichever.
Harmony like overseas
Mm-hmm.
in Australia or
Okay.
wherever. In Canada and the U.S. it's called Absolution.
Okay. And so, but we couldn't find it when we Googled it. We couldn't find it. But if you have that and you're interested in watching that type of movie, I would give the movie a 4. I enjoyed the movie.
I'll give it a 4, and I see she really went deep in her artistry for that
Hmm.
film.
And like we said, she actually passed away. I'm not sure how soon it was after that.
Pretty soon after, I believe.
Okay, and no, no idea why or anything like that or whatever. But condolences to her family. But it's a good watch, you guys. But the movie that we actually want to review is called Plane.
Hmm.
And so we actually watched that movie first, I believe. And that was a pick. I had been skimming through it, and like Bobby he already told me that he doesn't really like plane movies for whatever reason. I'll let him tell you why he doesn't like plane movies. But it was just an interesting, watch for me because I saw that Mike Coulter was in it, and then Gerard Butler, and those are two actors that I really enjoy watching
Hmm.
in movies, and so I just kind of wanted to check it out to see what it was about. So it was an interesting plot that I haven't seen done before. And Bobby said he thought that he had seen it before, but I don't think I've seen this plot done before in a plane movie.
No, I mean it had some twists and turns, but it felt like I've seen a few pieces of this kind of film before.
Hmm. Yeah, typically though, from me, I remember seeing a lot of planes that have a hijacking in it,
Hmm.
where somebody hijacks the plane and then they're
No, but
trying to
these
fight
twists
for
and
that or
turns in this
whatever.
movie I've never seen.
Yeah, and so
Right.
so they didn't have that in the storyline, and so it was just interesting to watch that storyline unfold. And like we're talking kind of a roundabout because we
Hmm.
don't want to give away the story, but it was really a good watch. It was a really good watch. This is another one that Bobby actually stayed awake to watch. I want to
Yes.
say that it was on Netflix.
Yes. Netflix.
I believe it's on Netflix, and so it's called Plane, starring Gerard Butler and Mike Coulter. Some of the other people
I think we
I
like
don't
Mike in
remember.
more TV shows than movies. I mean, he's
Yeah,
great in both,
yeah
but
we haven't seen Mike in a lot of movies. We just remember him, and from my first watch of him was Luke Cage, I believe.
hmm
That was the first time I think I saw who he was or whatever, and then you kind of started kind of morphing from there. But yeah, so it was a really good movie, really good plane movie. If you're not
Jessica
squeamish,
Jones first, I think.
if you're not squeamish about plane movies, then it's a good watch. Uh, what did you say about plane? Why didn't you like? Why
No,
don't
I
you
just
like
said I
plane
just
movies?
really don't care for plane
Yeah,
movies.
okay.
So,
Is it because you don't like to fly?
no, shit, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't have much to say today, man.
I
So I'm
know,
just not real talkative.
I
It's
know,
really hot.
I know it's hot.
Yeah, but
We
yeah.
know it's hot. We're trying to get off of here. And so I'm gonna give Plane. I'm gonna give that a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the writing. Acting was great. It kind of kept you on the edge of your seat a little bit, kind of trying
Mhm.
to figure out what was going to happen. And it wasn't a movie where you could really kind of say what was going to happen. And that's
Mhm.
movies that I kind of really like. I like
Right.
not being able to say, oh, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen.
Mhm.
So we really, really didn't know what was going to happen. So what do you give it a?
I'll give it a 4.
About a 4? Okay. So this is a good movie for you guys to watch if you guys are looking for good movies. I want to talk about food
Mhm.
because that's our next review. And I don't remember any. We went back to Salad and Go again.
I went to Salad and Go for breakfast one day
Uh huh.
and got one of their burritos. They're like really cheap.
Uh huh. No bueno.
I don't. If I'm running, and I pass by there as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
going like Taco Bell or something, or whatever, I'll get it. But man,
Okay. You know what? What about Bahama Mamas? Bahama is it Bahama Mamas?
Bahama Bucks,
Bahama.
and
I said Bahama Mamas. That is a drink, y'all. My bad. You see where my brain
I'm
is.
not really a fan of the Bahama Bucks here. I think
Oh
I
no.
don't know if they purposely mistreat us or underserve us.
You mean us as in African Americans?
Yes, I don't know
Okay.
if it's that or if it's just they just don't do a really good West Texas style job.
Hmm.
But it's just a bunch of
Ice.
ice and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah. You're like what?
I'm not paying
What?
$6 for a cup of ice.
Yeah. It felt like the snow cone that he got. It wasn't really any type of juice or anything on it. It was really really light.
Yeah, we need like a green book because it seems like a lot of these places are tripping out here.
Yeah, they could be, y'all. I mean, I don't know. I suggested a green book a while ago, so that might be something that we might consider as far as just us out here in Las Vegas. So
Protecting
whenever,
ourselves and stopping giving business to these people. Like,
yeah,
what is that dirtbag ass place? Wags to Riches. If you're black, stay your behind out of Wags to Riches.
yes,
I watched this firsthand. I'm not even being funny, man. I wanted to cry when I left my puppy.
yeah,
I'm like, these jokers did a horrible ass job. She was hairy, my shirt was hairy, everything was just bad.
yeah,
So the sister walked out with her dog looked raggedy. This white lady came out with her dog. Perfect like the picture. I'm not even playing. The
wow.
dog looked just like the picture that they advertised on the ad.
So we
And
should
I'm
have had a
like,
white person bring Pepper in so she could get treated
yeah,
fairly.
I'm saying.
That's crazy, y'all.
Just if you want to go to Wags and Riches, I'm not ever.
That's
And I don't
really
recommend none of y'all ever go there either.
That's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Did we talk about that when that happened?
I don't think
You're
so.
sweating really bad. We're about to get off in a little bit. Yeah, he was really, really. You guys, I mean, if you could have seen the look on his face, my baby was
Sorry,
because
buddy.
we were trying to find a place that was reasonable to get our dog groomed because she had not been groomed since we got her. I believe
I
we
ended up
haven't,
paying $75 for that junk.
and he ended up paying about $75, which was didn't seem reasonable. It doesn't seem reasonable to me, but I don't know what the rates are for grooming dogs. But yeah, when we got her back, it was terrible.
No,
It
I
was
hope
it
they
was
close,
terrible.
and I hope somebody throws a lit match under their establishment.
Yeah, it was terrible. So that's our food review. So Bahama Bucks, Bobby said he's gonna give them a what?
I'll give them one. I'm gonna give them one snow cone,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take a half of that away because y'all are embarrassing West Texas culture with whatever the hell y'all call yourselves doing in North Las Vegas.
Well, to me, the very first time I went, and I had not gone, and this is Bobby's spot, so I want to say he might have taken me, like when we first moved here or something
Man, ain't
like that
nothing
or
love
whatever.
about the place at all. Y'all,
Um,
30 years running, y'all need to
yeah,
close.
but
Bad location.
when he took me this last time when he got his snow cone, I got a smoothie because I'm trying to stay away from my sugars, really really high sugars, and I got a smoothie, and my smoothie was good to me. It was like a
Yeah.
mango watermelon type of smoothie or whatever, and so I'll give them a 2, only because my smoothie was good,
Mm-hmm.
and then they gave us a coupon to come back, and so when I came back the second time, we went back the second time and tried it again. Bobby's snow cone was still horrible. He chose a different flavor, and
It
my
wasn't as bad, but it
and
still was no flavor.
well
Like it
my
was still like just a little bit of stuff, bunch of ice.
my second smoothie was really thin, so it wasn't a smoothie. It was kind of like just a drink.
Yeah, I mean
And so
they kind of pulled the wool.
yeah,
They're whack.
yeah.
Marco's Pizza. What
Okay,
is that?
we just ate Marco's pizza.
What is that y'all doing over there? The flavor takes you back to the 90s or
Yeah,
something.
it was.
The flavor is nice. Y'all do that, but like the actual attitude and preparation and everything else,
The service wasn't bad when
it's
I
just
went in
not
there.
good.
When I went in there this last time, the service wasn't bad.
Really?
They had a little black girl in
Okay,
there,
cool.
and she served me really well. Told me
Nice.
about 15 to 20 minutes. We
Mm,
went across the street to Dollar Tree rather. We
mm.
came back. When we came back, our pizza was ready. And so it wasn't bad, but
The cinnamon
it was
things
almost, yeah, all those
taste
cinnamon
like
things.
floor cleaner.
Yeah, they didn't
I don't
taste
know
good.
what that mess was,
They
but
didn't taste good.
yeah, stop that.
Yeah, so
Stop doing that.
we won't do that.
Yeah.
And so you guys, it's really hard for us, because money is what it is. And so sometimes we want to go to places and spend a little bit of money.
Mm.
Um, and then sometimes we can't afford to go to places and spend a little bit of money. So we're going to kind of fast food joints, kind of just trying to see sometimes maybe joints that I've seen on Facebook or somebody referred or something like that or whatever. So we're trying to really give you guys some up-to-date information and reviews about some good places out here. So like we said, when you come to visit, all of our people and friends who are watching us from
I got like
afar,
two
or you're coming to visit, well, the 2 friends we have when you come to visit,
She got friends.
we want to make sure that you that you have some place good to go. And then the locals out here, we want to try some stuff for you and let you guys know what's good and what's bad. So we might take into consideration that green book. So we're not sure about that. But do you have a person of the organically? You have a person of the
Yeah,
week?
Jay.
Okay.
Echo Models.
Okay.
Solid chick, man.
Okay.
Just watch her
Okay.
echo throughout the girl she's training. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jay, the model, Echo Models, you guys. We've mentioned them a few times because we've been doing a couple of shows with them just these past couple of weeks. So they're really, really good. So check them out.
Yeah, for sure.
ECO Models, and they are local to Las Vegas. And so the last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, before Bobby falls and slides out of the chair, I want to talk about this. I just found it on Instagram, and so I want to correctly tell you guys what happened. So it looks like it's a school that was in Rockdale, Alabama. Is Rockdale in Alabama?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe so.
I'm sure.
So it's in Rockdale, Alabama, I believe. But it's the Rockdale County, and I think the school is called Honey something. I don't even know because I was reading it really fast because I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about it. But apparently, a teacher there was doing a history presentation, and the teacher did a history presentation talking about how things were back in the past when we were still with the Jim Crow laws, and we didn't have civil rights and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the students went home and told their parents that the teacher had put for colored only signs on the fountains and white only signs on the fountain, and that's kind of the only premise that I got from it that they were talking about. So they were outraged.
Mm-hmm.
They were outraged that their kids had to be subject to this type of environment or this history lesson or whatever. And so I believe that the principal, I think, put out a statement saying that they were so sorry about what the kids had to encounter, but they felt like that the teacher was not doing it with ill intent, but also the teacher didn't let them know that they were doing that in their lesson plan. So they didn't know that they were going to do that type of, project or, reenactment or whatever. And so, yeah, so they were up in arms. So I don't know. I don't know how that went. I don't know how that played out, but it still kind of reminds me of the CIT movement that we had a long time ago. Not a long time ago, recently, like 2020, somewhere around there, where folks were fighting to make sure that our history was represented, right? So they wanted to make sure that kids of today and future know about what happened to African Americans, Black people back in the day, so we wouldn't forget it. But they wanted us to include, of course, what happened slavery, what happened post slavery, and then all of the wonderful things that Black people have done that are not getting talked about in schools, for us to be acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
And then there you have the other side, which is like, I don't care. I don't really want that taught in my schools because it seems like it's almost putting the thought in the children's head to go back to whatever this is, or to make them feel bad about what their ancestors did or whatever. And so I don't know what the intent was for the teacher, but I can see a teacher wanting to do a reenactment. I can see somebody wanting to do that, just showing you this is how bad it was for you guys. Like, you guys couldn't even drink from the same fountain. So I want you to feel this. I want you to know this. This is not how it is today, but I want you to know this is what your grandparents went through, or your great great parents went through, or your great 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 grandparents went through. So I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I don't know
Well, I
if
feel
it.
like everybody who was up in arms,
Hmm.
I'm just saying that's just how it is.
Okay.
Sissy. These
Okay.
people are what makes America rough.
Okay.
These crybaby ass, wimpy,
Hmm.
you know, bitches, man. Like, stop it. This stuff happened.
Yeah, it is.
This stuff happened. We've all lived through it.
Mm.
Our parents and grandparents lived through it personally.
Hmm.
We eat and taste of all the aftermath of all that daily.
Right. Right.
There's no space for that, for all that cry. This teacher's trying to educate your dumbass kids
Hmm.
because you and your TikTok aren't doing it.
Facts.
So he's trying to let you guys know something, and you do that from what it sounds like.
Right.
So
From what it
I
sounds
don't
like.
know.
And like I said,
He
we
could
don't know.
honestly been a
But
full out racist
but
trying to be
but
funny,
and he could have been, but
and
it's
then
still but it's still
but
whether he was funny or not, to me, the way it read, it still was a lesson for them. So whether he was racist or not, right now I can go to my job and I can drink from the same fountain as my CEO. If
mhm,
my CEO is drinking from that fountain, right? And my CEO, we're not the same skin tone, right? And so even if it was a bad joke or something like that or whatever, I think that it is very mindful for our children to not forget our history, because I truly believe if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it, to
right.
me.
You
And so
don't,
you
yeah,
can't be so fearful that you think that we're plotting or putting things in these kids' head to to become that again. No, we're just trying to educate them, so we let them know, like, hey, this is what your great great grandfather went through and your great great grandmother, but we don't have that. So pay homage to your elders. Remember your elders. Remember how things were, and respect them for having to go through that,
mhm,
so that we don't have to go through that. And then now the generation after that, then you don't have to go through it, right? Some of the stuff is subtle. Some of the stuff is really, really subtle. But at the end of the day, it's not so in your face to where I can't go sit down in a movie theater and have to go to the back of the theater with all the colored folks. It's not like that anymore.
right.
So for me, I think that it may have been kind of misread a little bit by some of
Mhm.
the parents. But then again, like I said, I don't know exactly what happened. But I would say if it happened like we think, that it was just a lesson. It was just them trying to let the kids know what happened back in the day. That I'm not going to be up in arms about that.
Man, here's the deal.
Matter of fact, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
you take that time to really educate your children. So when your children come home and they tell you about it, instead of getting all huff and puffing about it, go ahead and really give them the real of what really happened, and expound on what the teacher did.
It's not uh there's this big move right now of all these folks who just now became like political
Okay.
because they're angry
Mm-hmm.
and they listen to female rappers and shit. So like now they're just now on this move of being political. So all these people are like jumping on this. Everybody owes their. The real issue is people don't want to be accountable.
Yes, I can
It's
see
like,
that.
and we're gonna go right back into slavery because we've lost our ability to do simple shit.
Mm-hmm.
We can't make anything anymore.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to get money. So we want to save money, get money, use money, spend in the clubs on vodkas and junk.
Yeah.
So we like sent off all of our stuff to some other country so they can make it, so their slaves can make it cheaper. And then 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line, we need to get it back. We want it back. We want to be able to do it here. And we don't know how to do it. None of our kids know how to do it. They just been cooling out on the money we've been making for the past forever.
Right.
You know, buying cars and junk and then hanging out at the nearest club with the DJ pushing buttons, doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, no mixing,
no
turntables, none of
spend
that.
all our money on that. And all that little time, we've forgotten the ability and lost the ability to make simple things. So when we're going to need these things in the next few years, we're not going to be able to get them. Yeah. And we're going to be right back in slavery. This is all the same thing that these kids need to hear. You need to learn about the water fountain and all the stuff that we had to go through because of debt. And we're going to go right back into that move, and y'all want to cry about it because somebody's teaching you something.
And I can absolutely get with you guys. We're gonna get out of here because we'll go on a rant, as hot as we are. But I was looking at an article. I was looking at an article that was talking about AI and how AI is going to be taking over a lot of technical jobs, right? And so just like maybe 10 years ago, they were saying, hey, you know, kids, get into technology, learn how to program and do things like this or whatever because you'll have job stability. But now that they have AI, they're saying that we're actually going to go backwards, and the people who are actually going to be in need are going to be the people who know how to work with their hands and who know how to build stuff. Because it's going to go backwards, and pretty soon AI is going to make so much stuff like everything is the same. AI is
going to be for the poor. It's going to be the replication. It's going to be replicating the stuff for the poor.
It's going to be same.
Hands-on is going to be for the wealthy.
Yeah, we're all in gray outfits. You know what I'm saying? Just walking around like looking like everybody else.
You wanted it.
We got a number.
Fast. Here you go. I can pray it for you.
Yeah, we got a number. We got a number right here, and so you guys pay attention to all of that. And actually, all my believers out there. Start picking up your Bible and reading that a little bit.
Try to read that. Start to walk away from some of your silly fears.
Yeah.
Some of your silly fears and stuff ain't Christ-like. He didn't say to do none of that.
No.
You're not that important. That is an arrogant thought.
Yes.
Walk away from some of that. Pick your word up and read it.
Read it because
I gotta get this.
Yeah. So Bobby's out of here.
Peace.
He'll see you later. Yeah, you guys. End times. You know, it's. I think it's coming around. It's coming around somewhere. It's coming around. We don't know how soon. Like I said, I'm not, prophetic or anything like that. But as a believer, I feel like it's important now for all of us to really get into our word and not worry about the things around us, because we are supposed to be the light. We're supposed to be the light of the world. We're supposed to be bringing peace to the world. And so if we're rattled or fearful or talking about everything that's going on in the news or just different things like that, I'm talking about like with fear, then how are we to help those that are lost? So that's my personal opinion, you guys. Start getting to your word. Some of the things that we're learning that they were not exactly, dead on some of the things that we learned, but there's a way to get unlearned, and that's just by picking up your word, reading it, and then letting God speak to you directly on what he's telling you, okay? And so we are out. Like I said, we are going to be on a break for the month of July, so you guys will not see us, but please tune in because you're going to start seeing promos about The Last Temptation, the documentary Bobby and I did about my father last year. We debuted it in Dallas. It turned out absolutely amazing. And we entered it into a few film festivals. We got one honorable mention. So we were excited about that. This is our first time really doing a full-length documentary. And we are going to be debuting that on YouTube on July the 4th, my daddy's birthday. He would have been 73, I think, this year. 73, 74. I don't even remember now. Golly. But you guys stay tuned in for that, and we will see you guys soon. We'll holler at you.